Hello, friends. So, what I'm going to share with you just now might be a little disconcerting, and that's okay. It is good to face our habitual certainties if we want to join the path to enlightenment. And what I'm saying to you is disconcerting because I'm stating something that those who think they are enlightened might find very disturbing, and those who follow the so called enlightened, whether it be a guru or other teacher, those who follow the so called enlightenment, whether it be a guru or other teacher who says they are enlightened, is a sure sign that the teacher, the guru, is not enlightened. So, anytime somebody says, I'm enlightened, that by definition takes away enlightenment, the, the definition of enlightenment. Once again, if somebody says, I am enlightened, then they most certainly are not. Let's pursue this idea. Okay, so I'll summarize this idea by one sentence. Liberation or enlightenment is not of a person, but from the person. Once again, liberation or enlightenment is not of a person, but from the person. The concept of liberation or enlightenment has been a central theme in many spiritual traditions, and of course, philosophical discourses throughout history. Whether it's the moksha of Hinduism, the nirvana of Buddhism, or the transcendence sought in mystical Christianity, these states are often described as the ultimate goal of human existence. However, a profound truth emerges when we delve deeper into these teachings. Liberation is not something that happens to a person, nor is it an achievement of a person. Instead, it is freedom from the very construct of the person itself. Once again, enlightenment is a freedom from the very construct of the person itself. I know this idea challenges our conventional understanding of identity. So let's explore the deeper essence of existence. And to do this, we have to first understand why enlightenment is freedom from the person. We must first examine what personhood truly means. The person, what is a person? It's essentially a mental construct, a collection of thoughts, emotions, memories, beliefs, and roles that we identify with and call me. This identity is shaped by societal conditioning, cultural influences, and, of course, personal experiences. While it serves practical purposes in navigating the world, it also creates a sense of separateness. The ego, the core of this construct, believes itself to be an independent entity distinct from others and the universe. This illusion of separateness lies at the root of suffering. When we identify with the person, so called, a process in consciousness, we become attached to its desires, fears, and limitations. We live in constant pursuit of pleasure and avoidance of pain, trapped in cycles of craving and aversion. The ego thrives on duality, good versus bad, success versus failure, and perpetuates conflict within ourselves and the world around us. So, Liberation or enlightenment occurs when we see through the illusion of the person and recognize our true nature. Spiritual traditions often describe this realization as awakening to the oneness of existence and discovering that we are not limited to the egoic self that seems to be squeezed into the volume of a body and the span of a lifetime, but that we are instead an infinite consciousness or presence. In this state, there's no person to be liberated. Rather, liberation is freedom from identification with the person. So, in Advaita Vedanta, which is the non dualistic school of Indian philosophy, enlightenment is described as realizing that one's true nature is Atman, the true self, and it is identical to Brahman, the universal consciousness. Similarly, Buddhism teaches that there's no permanent separate self. Liberation arises when one lets go of attachment to the idea of I and attains nirvana, a state beyond suffering. This transcendence does not mean annihilation or loss. Rather, it's an expansion beyond narrow self identification. It is like waking up from a dream where you believed you were a limited character and realizing you are the dreamer, the infinite awareness in which all experiences arise. This has practical implications. So, understanding liberation as freedom from the person has profound implications on how we approach life or how we approach life. Number one, letting go of the ego. Instead of striving to perfect or glorify the egoic self, I am a guru that will enlighten you, or I am a leader that will give you freedom. We learn to disidentify from it. And here, of course, meditation, mindfulness help us observe thoughts and emotions without attaching to them. Also, when we no longer are bound by societal roles or conditioned beliefs about who we should be, we can live from a place of authenticity, spontaneity, generosity, empathy, compassion, and joy. This is automatic because we recognize that our true nature is shared with all beings. And this dissolves barriers between self and other, guru and disciple. This fosters compassion, empathy, and a sense of unity with all existence. And finally, liberation brings freedom from the cycles of craving and aversion that cause suffering. In transcending duality, we find peace in just simply being. So, liberation or enlightenment is not something that can be possessed by a person because it involves transcending the very idea of personhood itself. It is not about becoming someone special or achieving something extraordinary. It is about waking up to what has always been the infinite presence beyond egoic identity. And you are that infinite presence. This shift in perspective transforms how we experience life, allowing us to live with greater freedom, peace, and connection. And ultimately, liberation reminds us that our true nature cannot be confined by labels or constructs. It invites us to let go of who we think we are so we can discover what we truly are, a boundless awareness that embraces all of existence. That's the guru that you are. You don't need to become one. You are one. G, you are you, guru. Anyway, if you like this, let me know. and feel free to share with others.